Let's watch this. Yes. Lost media from Nintendo, especially when it's blame it on Jorge or George. I mean, I call them both. I don't really care. Let's see.
This video is brought to you by Raycon Earbuds. Get 15% off your purchase when you use my exclusive discount code Jorge. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm always listening to music, audiobooks, podcasts,
I listen
and even
to
YouTube videos
every
in the
single
background.
day, dude.
And lately, Raycons have been my go-to. Not only do they fit snugly in my ear, but they offer crispy audio quality, 8 hours of playtime, and a built-in microphone at half the price of other brands.
I have a stutter issue.
I like to use them on my morning walks or when I'm working out, thanks to this handy noise isolation feature.
Is that Jorge?
By pressing this button, I'm immersed in my audio with no need to worry about outside distractions.
What was I gonna say?
Pressing it again activates awareness mode, allowing me to enjoy my audio while still being able to clearly hear around me.
Thank God, I recently just got a new job, so I'm pretty happy about that.
That's Jorge, and you get an additional 15% off your purchase.
Yeah, I recently got a new job.
And if you're not convinced, Raycon offers a great buy now, pay later option.
Yo, boy is finally getting paid. That's it. I just have to say that because
so there's absolutely no risk in buying a pair for yourself.
For like 3 months, I was unemployed. I was
ready
like
to buy
looking for
something
different
small
jobs,
with a big impact.
Places. I got
Click
fired
the link in the
once.
description box.
This is my first
or
time
go
getting
to
fired. I got fired
buyRaycon.com/Jorge
in December
to get 15% off your
I was
Raycon
there
purchase.
for like a week.
Thanks again to Raycon for sponsoring this video.
And I didn't do anything like bad, like nothing. Like it was easily fixable. But that's for a whole nother day. Let's watch this. Lost media from Nintendo. Blame it on Jorge. Let's go.
King Koopa's Cool Cartoons.
Huh?
King Koopa's Cool Cartoons was a strange Nintendo TV crossover, and very little of its weird content has ever been found. A spin-off of the relatively popular 1989 Super Mario Bros. Super Show.
Do the Mario swing your arms from side to side. Dude, not gonna lie, I have to tell you something. My mom is actually the MVP when it came to like showing me cartoons, right? When I was a little kid, right, I used to go to Sam's Club like every like Saturday, I think, with my mom and my dad. And my mom, she saw the Mario cartoon, but she never grew up with like Mario cartoon or anything like that, right? She knows when she grew up, she kind of grew up with Mario like in her teens and stuff, but she literally saw that like DVD or like the DVD back then of the Mario Bros. Super Show. She bought it and she bought me Sonic Underground, and I watched both of them, and that's why I became a huge like Mario Bros. Super Show fan. Dude, like when it comes to Mario, I love Mario. I cannot stress that. Enough. So every time I play, I'm always either like Mario or like something like Lakitu. I love Lakitu, dude. Like woohoo! And then like with Mario, woohoo, yahoo, yeah! I love Mario. Dude, Mario makes me happy.
Crowd.
He's like my Mickey Mouse.
And various different segments.
The King Koopa, like back then, it's
it's
literally Bowser before the final version.
Who you probably know better as Bowser. The character Bowser actually has more than one name, but that's a story for a different video. King Koopa's Cool Cartoons was a pretty low-key show. It only lasted for one season, allegedly airing for 65 episodes in 1989 and 1990 on a Southern California TV station. Each episode clocked in at around 30 minutes. This short-lived and little-known local run was seemingly a test to determine how popular the show would be, and if it was successful, Nintendo might have attempted to give the platform a wider release. But when King Koopa's Cool Cartoons proved to be massively unpopular, the show obviously wasn't renewed or rolled out further. Some sources say that King Koopa's Cool Cartoons also aired sporadically, and both.
Dude, this looks like what's it called? Like the new what's it called? The AI generated stuff. Like this is the AI generated. The Super Mario Bros. AI generated Super Mario Bros. Fantasy live action. You know what I mean?
Arizona, and the UK. But there's no real proof to back up either of those claims. If you saw any episodes...
Wait, is Mother 3 gonna be in this? Mother 3? Dude, I want to play that game so bad. Like, okay, Mother 3, I already played it for like the GBA version, but like, Mother 3 for 64 is the game I want to play so So bad, dude. So bad.
Either of those locations or anywhere else, let me know in the comments below. Anyways, King Koopa's Cool Cartoons was a pretty weird show with a pretty weird intro.
What is this?
In this pre-recorded intro, King Koopa dances down a Los Angeles street in the direction of a TV studio, accompanied by a raucous bunch of kids and his dog-like pet puppet Ratso. He breaks into the TV studio, confronting those who stop him.
Is that canon?
And aggressively declaring, "It's my show now."
Cringe.
The rest of the show was filmed in front of a live studio audience, made up of young children, referred to as King Koopa's Troopas.
Oh, the Troopas.
The show was made up of various skits and segments, including a character called Mr. Mean Jeans, and sections in which King Koopa would read out jokes. Recovered clips include footage of King Koopa bottle feeding an egg, King Koopa talking to his pet/mascot Ratso,
it's just a dog, right?
Egg, King Koopa talking to his pet/mascot Ratso,
it's a dog.
and a 2-character puppet show.
I love dogs.
But instead of actual puppets, the characters are played by vegetables. The show also played public domain cartoons from the 1920s and 1930s.
Why?
But these cartoons were entirely unrelated to Mario and the Mario franchise, and seemingly had no connection at all to the content of the rest of the show or its characters.
Why? Was that just filler?
So yeah, really weird.
Such a
Another
weird ass
regular
show.
segment included King Koopa reading fan mail from people who had written into the show.
To the P.O. box.
This fan mail was...
Dude, imagine King Koopa or Bowser just getting hate mail. Oh my god, hate watchers, dude. Hate watchers. Oh my god.
Negative and critical.
Someone sends them like a used condom.
The show wasn't particularly popular, and the fan mail often reflected that perception. Many parents also wrote into King Koopa's Cool Cartoons to complain that the content was sometimes scary and inappropriate. Because the show had a limited release, it's unlikely that any other clips will resurface in the future.
God, look at that. That's my childhood
so
too.
we might never know quite how scary and inappropriate
Bowser also
the show sometimes was.
Who's the guy playing Bowser?
If you have access to any more clips, or if you have any more information, please let us know in the comments below. The Pokemon Pirate Ship Show.
Pirate Ship Show? What?
Back in September 2000, a little known and barely remembered Pokemon Zelda show came to the shores of Sydney, Australia. Nintendo has served up plenty of Pokemon related events over the years, including card swaps, open tournaments, new game launches, costume character appearances, and plenty more. This particular Zelda show, however, was part of the first ever World Championships event for the iconic Nintendo 64 Pokemon Stadium game.
64.
The 3-day competition was allegedly part of a massive 22-day event held in Sydney, and the lengthy event featured way more than just a championship tournament.
Cubone, I saw Cubone.
Other attractions included performances, trading events, product launches, and gaming sessions.
Dude, not gonna lie, I was never really a big Pokemon fan growing up. I was always Team Mario, dude. Mario! No, but like, dude, not gonna lie, I watched Nick's or NMP Lowell's like when he opens packs, dude, they're actually so addicting when he opens them, dude. When he opens them, they're so addicting. No, but like, dude, I'm such a big fan of Nick and Melina, dude. Ugh, I love their content.
Although it was billed as the, quote, biggest free Pokemon show on Earth, unquote, very little of the events was recorded. So not much is known about exactly what happened at the events. The best summary we have is from a September 2000 edition of the video game related IGN magazine, which describes the events as follows.
Too much water.
While in Sydney, kids and adults will take over Pokemon Park, an interactive area where they can compete in trading card tournaments and video game face-offs, and enjoy concerts, dancing, games, food, and much, much more, including a Pokemon Team Rocket live show, a Pokemon Disco, and limited edition first-in-the-world Pokemon
fire.
Products.
That's fire.
In this synopsis, there are no details about any Zelda show, but it definitely occurred, which is proven by the presence of a small number of photographs and an even smaller amount of video footage.
Yeah,
according to one Italian Pokemon magazine, published around the same time as the event, two so-called galleons sailed into Sydney's port before engaging in battle. According to another source, this featured a cannon fight
Batalla de Pokémon and
between Team Rocket and a bunch of Pokemon.
Bahía de Sydney.
And yeah, little else is known about the tournament or about the pirate ship show. There's nothing on the Wayback Machine, nothing on any official Pokemon platforms, and very few memories or recollections from Pokemon fans.
That's a sick plane.
So if you're from the Sydney area and have any memories or footage, once again, please let us know in the comments
below. The koala is just like right there.
Shitamachi
What is this? Is this
Gekijo.
Nintendo related? What?
Next up is the most bizarre entry on our list.
Uh-oh.
So strap yourself in for some pretty strange and disturbing stuff.
Uh-oh.
Shitamaji Ninjo Gekijo was a so-called virtual magazine, initially released in 1995 for the barely remembered Satellaview platform. This was a satellite modem add-on for Nintendo's Super Famicom console, which was the Japanese equivalent of the Super Nintendo. The Satellaview wasn't particularly popular or successful, even in Japan, and it was never released in the US or Europe. On this satellite modem add-on, users could download games and satellite broadcasts, and play quizzes and competitions. They could also download and watch magazine-style shows. And one of the most notorious was Shitamachi Ninjo Gekijo.
So that's a show?
The magazine featured 6 episodes, originally broadcast between November 1995 and March 1996.
That's crazy.
All episodes were made up of still images and featured Mario and the characters from the Mario universe. Because the show was magazine style, viewers could use their console to freely flip between the pages. But the content on some of these pages was disturbing.
So this is official Mario?
While most other Mario content is innocent and family friendly, this stuff was graphic and bizarre.
Huh?
In episode 1, Mario tells Toad to kill Bowser with a butter knife.
No way!
In episode 2, Mario pulls a poop-covered spoon out of his anus.
Huh?
In episode 3, he pulls a drill out of his scrotum, and Mario and Toad use this drill to escape from jail.
What am I watching?
In episode 4, Mario and Toad accidentally mistake
Is this gonna be in the Mario movie?
Windows 95 for a vehicle. Until they are corrected by Bill Gates, who, in a surprise appearance, instead informs them that the Windows 95 is, in fact, an object you put on your head. In episode 5, things become even more bizarre. Mario kills both Toad and Peach before smoking a cigarette and announcing he has a new girlfriend.
What?
The ghosts of both Peach and Toad arrive and watch as Mario's new girlfriend is unveiled. Weirdly, this new girlfriend is revealed to be Bowser.
What is this?
In the 6th and final episode, the stills are purposely crude and simple, and an unnamed male character travels to hell before doing stuff with a lobster.
What?
This is definitely the most unusual piece of Nintendo media we're aware of, and much of this content was once lost for a long while. But as of now, it's all available on YouTube.
Dude, I swear it had to be someone who Nintendo probably employed, but it's probably something that Nintendo never oversaw, and they probably just forgot about it.
So they probably just forgot about it before it disappears again.
That's so weird. Mother 3.
Zelda Gaiden.
Never mind. Zelda Gaiden.
The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time is highly lauded and universally considered to be one of the best games of all time.
Ninja Gaiden.
But when it was first being built, Nintendo wanted it to be more innovative and interesting. Ocarina of Time was first set to be released as one of the launch titles for the Nintendo 64 DD, a much anticipated disc-based add-on for the N64. These discs offered more storage capacity than traditional cartridges, meaning that the game could be packed with more stories, better graphics, and a whole load of unique features and animations. But when the 64 DD wound up being a massive failure, with less processing power than first thought, the Zelda team needed to rethink. Ocarina of Time was instead moved back over to a cartridge.
Look at that cartridge though.
And this meant that lots of the game's development and content had to be adapted, scrapped, and deleted. But the Nintendo team didn't want to lose all the stuff they worked on, so they planned to release the extra content as a pair of expansion packs. One was known as Zelda, which translates to Other Zelda, and the other was known as Zelda Gaiden, which translates to Zelda Side Story. Zelda was cancelled, but Nintendo pushed on with their plans for Zelda Gaiden, and so, in May 1999, Nintendo announced the upcoming release of Zelda Gaiden, claiming that it was a sequel to Ocarina of Time, but that it was set to take place in some sort of alternate reality.
I've never played Ocarina of Time. I actually want to. You know what's crazy? Like, back when Majora's Mask 3D for the 3DS came out, I bought the game, never played it. Isn't that weird?
We're worried that Zelda Gaiden was too similar to Ocarina of Time, which postponed the release date. Eventually, the partially reformed and partially reimagined game was adapted into the later released Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask came out in April 2000, 11 months after Zelda Gaiden was first advertised.
Wow.
Not much is known about exactly what Zelda Gaiden would have looked like or contained.
That's crazy. I never knew about that.
Footage has seemingly been lost forever.
I never knew about this.
But from what we do know, the beta version of Zelda Gaiden is pretty different from the Majora's Mask that was eventually released. The game was initially planned to be set over 7 days rather than 3, and it was allegedly set to be played in real time. The game also planned to make use of an adult Link mask, which implies that the adult version of Link would have been a much more significant character in the game. Other details also might have been different.
That Skull Kid?
A screenshot exists showing the faceless version of Terminus Moon.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Without its gruesome grimace. Lots of other items, instruments, and cutscenes were also lost. But little of this early game remains, and it's unlikely that any more will ever resurface.
Dude, I cannot wait for the new Tears of the Kingdom. I know my brother's gonna play a lot.
Kirby Bowl 64.
Yep, it's Kirby Air Ride.
Planned but unreleased N64 game Kirby Bowl 64 has had a storied history. But despite its relative infamy, not much is known about this never-released game. The game was an unreleased prototype of what was later set to become Kirby's Air Ride. But the N64 version of Kirby's Air Ride was also cancelled.
Yeah, and turned to GameCube.
Back in 1995, Nintendo announced that they'd be releasing 3 huge new games, which they would launch along with their upcoming Nintendo 64 console, which at the time was known as the Ultra 64.
Ultra 64, isn't that crazy?
These 3 games were Super Mario 64,
amazing game.
Pilot Wing 64, and Kirby Bowl 64.
Kirby Bowl
Covered
64.
extensively in magazine pages, and at Nintendo's 1995 Shoshinka trade show, Kirby Bowl 64 was set to be a 3D sequel to 1994's much loved Kirby Bowl.
You know, like
you might
have the
instead know
64
Kirby Bowl as Kirby's Dream Course, which was its name in Western markets. Just like in Kirby Bowl 64 was partially set to see Kirby take on the role of a golf ball, and players would putt and ping him around various courses of increasing difficulty. During other parts of the game, he would skate, float in the air, roll around the floor, and be bounced around a bunch of strange and kooky courses. These course-based stages would have featured obstacles, enemies, psychedelic settings, and a whole bunch of physics-defying features. In multiplayer mode, up to 4 players would each have control of the ball, zooming around a 3D landscape in attempts to knock each other off the platform and out of the game. But although the game was sort of similar to Kirby Bowl, the graphics were set to be much more intricate and sophisticated, moving from a basic 2D design to a much more complex 3D design. In one magazine article advertising the upcoming release of the game, Kirby Bowl 64 was summarized as follows. Quote, "Function defeats form in one of the year's strangest and most abstract puzzle and action games." The game was heavily publicized and advertised, so Nintendo seemed dead set on its release. But despite their eager promotion of the game across many platforms, it was never released. And no one really knows why. No playable version of Kirby Bowl 64 has ever been found.
Actually, that
or
is
released.
true. Why?
And there's very little footage anywhere online.
I've seen a little bit.
There's also very little information online about the replaned N64 Kirby's Air Ride. which was also cancelled.
Should have covered Mother 3,
Kirby's
dude.
Air Ride was eventually released for the GameCube 8 years later, with a slightly altered title of Kirby Air Ride. But because there was such a hefty time between the first planned release and the subsequent actual release, the games are probably very dissimilar to one another.
They are so different. I mean, it looks
pretty
different.
weird that so little is known about such a well-publicized and highly anticipated game. But I guess that's just how Lost Media works.
Isn't that crazy? I love Lost Media. It's interesting because we could have done a whole different product.
Metroid Dread.
Oh yes, I know about this. It was in like development in like I think 2006 or something, and it finally came out to the Switch. And that's yeah, everyone's like, oh my god. I think the Metroid community was like, oh my god, Metroid Dread is here. But like everyone's like, I think people who weren't really into the Metroid series like me, I was like, oh okay, just Metroid Dread, until I found out about that. I was like, wow, that's crazy.
The most modern entry on our Lost Media list, Metroid Dread was planned to be a direct sequel to 2002's super successful Metroid Fusion, which was released on the Game Boy.
That's the old logo?
Super successful Metroid Fusion, which was released on the Game Boy Advance. Metroid Fusion was the fourth game in the Metroid series.
Not gonna lie, Metroid Dread was pretty fun. I only played like a couple sections.
Metroid Dread was first planned and conceptualized around 2005, and it was due to be released for the Nintendo DS.
I knew it was gonna be for DS.
In 2006, the official Nintendo magazine announced the forthcoming release of the game, with a planned date for November of the same year. According to most sources at the time, it was going to be a direct sequel to its predecessor and continue exactly where Metroid Fusion left off. But when November 2006 rolled around, the game didn't surface.
Yeah, it never
For
came
several
out.
following years, Metroid Dread was cancelled, postponed, and pushed back. Dates kept changing, speculation kept varying,
That's like,
and
that
rumors
sounds really
around the
similar
game's
to like
content and existence circulated for years.
That's like really similar.
Fans weren't sure if the game was ever going to be released or whether it had been cancelled forever. It was supposedly set to be a key release for the Nintendo DS, and players eagerly waited for a long while, but this release never came. This was largely because of the lofty goals and visions of the team behind the game. Game designer Yoshio Sakamoto was ambitious, and he felt that the technological and graphical limitations of the Nintendo DS wouldn't be able to fully realize his goals for the project.
Yeah, it makes sense for sure, right? Because like the DS was like, it's not the same as like 3DS, right? Obviously it's older hardware, so it makes sense.
In 2009, another prototype was ready for the DS.
Wow.
But again,
multiple prototypes.
Sakamoto wasn't happy with the results, so the prototype was pulled, the footage wasn't released, and the game was, once again, put on hold. For many years, the game was seemingly forgotten. Most fans feared that it would never be released at all. And some even started to speculate that rumors of its existence were just some weird publicity stunts.
But no.
Eventually, the much anticipated Metroid Dread was released, but for the Nintendo Switch, and not until October 2021.
So many years.
As promised, the game is the direct sequel to 2002's Metroid Fusion, but it's of course probably vastly different to earlier versions of the game, and no details of these early versions have ever been released to the public.
There it is. Blame it on Jorge with another video. Let's go. Wait. How many subs do I have? Should I refresh? It doesn't go up. It doesn't go up. Oh no, I'm just gonna put it in myself. I'm just kidding. Oh, I think it went down. Even better. Oh, that's so funny. Wait. Oh, wait. We're still at the same place.